Welcome to Local Distortion. On this podcast, I'll be talking to the best up-and-coming independent artists and bands. I am your host, Daniel Kirk. My guests this week are Burning Codes. Welcome.
Hello.
Pleasure to be here. The show.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yes. No. Yeah. Go on then. Yeah. My name is Simon, and I play guitar in the Burning Codes. I said the, but it's not the Burning Codes. I always do this in interviews. I call us the Burning Codes, like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. We're not. We are just Burning Codes. My name is Simon from Burning Codes.
Brilliant. And my name's Paul, and I sing and scream and shout and gesticulate and play a bit of guitar as well. So yeah, I'm Paul.
And you also obviously have some other members who aren't present.
Who I was going to say no longer with us, but that's not true. No. Gary, who hits stuff with sticks. Oh, yeah. Karen is our bass player, and Lord Fuzzman is our other guitarist. He just has an obsession with fuzz pedals.
Lord, his first name?
Yeah, it is for the purpose of this. Yeah, Lord Fuzzman. Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel under the same name. He's obsessed with offset guitars, fuzz pedals, noise, sonic youth.
Is that his amp then in your music video?
Yes. The Sonic Youth amp. Yeah, he made that himself. He's a good artist as well. Yeah, so he's made that himself. Yeah, nice. Very talented.
Big time.
Now, can you describe Burning Codes in just 3 words?
No. Fuzzy.
Raw.
Liberating.
Yeah.
Nice. That wasn't so hard.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
You got any more?
Very, very interesting. No, there's probably a ton more, but...
What have we got then? Fuzzy.
Raw. Liberating.
Fuzzy, raw, and liberating.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good night.
I think those work pretty well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
T-shirt. Yeah, I know.
Fuzzy. I am fuzzy, raw, and liberating.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, those would sell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you guys are from the Peterborough?
Yeah, kind of wider Peterborough area.
Yeah, Peterborough area. Most of us are, we are all from the Peterborough area.
Yeah.
Paul puts his accent on. But
I just pretend to be from Belfast. Yeah, no, Belfast born, grew up over home, and then I moved over quite some time ago. So I've been in England for quite a while.
So as we're Local Distortion, would you like to give a shout out to 3 local bands or unsigned bands?
Wow. Yeah. Well, we're going to definite shout out to Fez, who are joining us on a album launch night, 31st of August at the Broadway in Peterborough. Yeah. Amazingly talented band, Fez. If you don't know them, check them out. Paula, do you want to?
Well,
there's too many. I don't want to miss anyone out.
It's so hard just picking.
I've been really enjoying Fizz Wallace.
Fizz Wallace band. Yeah, she's pretty crazy, isn't she?
I like her stuff. She's got fire in her belly, that lady.
I better mention Logan as well. Golden Bantic. Logan, great band. Logan used to play with Burning Codes a few years ago. Played guitar for a bit. So, really nice guy.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Cool. So, let's talk about the name.
Burning Codes, right?
Yes, the origin of the name.
Okay, so when I moved from the town and I went up into the forest and was living in this large house surrounded by forest, so none of the houses up there even have numbers, and there were herds of deer, and it was just back to nature, growing their own food, no fertilizers, all that. And my background had always been within bands, and the band that I had been in had come to its natural end. So I was in this kind of crossover period, and I was searching within myself. Because I'm a lifelong songwriter, that's what I consider my life path to be. It always will be. I was basically thinking, how should I express myself now? And coincidentally, my brother, Ian Archer, who's a very well-known songwriter and producer, Ian had bought a new Pro Tools rig, and he gave me his old Pro Tools rig and said, man, just take it and do something with it. So I was like, what really know what, because I'd always worked, with producers and engineers, and really I've just been 4-tracking because we didn't have money.
Yeah.
Didn't have money for that kind of setup.
Yeah.
But because my brother's situation was very different, he was in a completely different situation. So I'm sitting there in the forest, out in nature, away from the town, and I'm trying to reevaluate everything. And I had what was going through me internally. I was thinking about the fact that we're all communally part of the human race. We're all travelling through this thing called life on this little planet in the middle of billions of stars, and I'm kind of thinking, we, in terms of what we have commonality wise, we all have our internal feelings and thoughts and ideas, and I've always been quite obsessed with the idea of mind, that the mind is not just the brain, it's the entire person.
Yeah.
So, and part of my work has also been involved, and I've qualifications in mental health and stuff like that. So I started to think about the concept of our passionately held inner thoughts and feelings, those feelings that aren't from our mothers, our fathers, our family, but the things that we hold dear, that we feel, that we develop within ourselves as unique individual human beings. And the fact that while we are all communally travelling through this thing called life, we have these passionate hidden inner messages, feelings, thoughts, ethics, ideas, concepts, philosophies. And because it was at this kind of juncture where I'm trying to think, well, I've got this new recording equipment, what am I going to do? It seemed to be that this idea of our burning codes, our passionate, hidden, inner messages, thoughts and feelings. So essentially burning codes is a term, which it's a concept as opposed to a name.
Yeah.
So the idea then became to try to be in the moment. So I stopped songwriting. I started to unsongwrite. I ripped apart all of my conventions, completely annihilated them, and started to pick instruments up, not tune them, but sit and make noise, make drones, make sounds. And I also went back to my roots, which is the human voice. Because when you sing you're naked, there is no, you're not expressing it through a tool. You're not using a plectrum, or it's the naked voice. So I started to layer up banks of harmonies, and the first Burning Codes album is all recorded on an SM58 mic, and it's multi-layered harmonies, and that's how the concept of burning codes was born. And then I thought, well, obviously having been in bands, that I would like to kind of reevaluate that model for myself and to try to create something that had more durability. I thought that I would start it as a project. So I would kind of see, I started as a solo collaborative artist, and then sent out feelers into the artistic community, went to various different places where other singers and art, like open mics and things like that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just started interfacing with people. And also social networking and all that kind of thing. Just put the feelers out, and gradually people started to get involved with the project. My brother Ian has always been involved with the project right from the first album. He came up from London after he gave me the Pro Tools rig, and I started recording these songs, but I didn't know whether they were songs, I didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
And I started to send them to trusted friends. So I sent them to Gary Lightbody from Snow Patrol, and I sent them to my brother and various other people, and it was very strange. There seemed to be this kind of reaction. And then I got contacted by Lou Reed's MySpace secretary, and really weird things started to happen. And then Gary phoned me up and said, come on over to Belfast, we're opening the OEM Music Centre in Belfast, 11,500 square feet, and so will you play at it with elbow? And so and I'm going, but Gary, I don't know how to do it. How am I going to do it? I don't know. No, you'll find a way, it's fine, just come over, it'll be okay. So that's essentially the genesis of Burning Codes. So it's really a concept as opposed to a name.
How's that for an answer?
Wow.
So how'd you get your name?
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
You know, it's just just me like I'm forced into a juncture in my life, you know, where I'm continually examining. You know, I annoy people because I'm continually asking questions. I'm not, you know, Simon will tell you.
You don't do anything
Simon
for this.
managed me for a long time.
You don't do anything for the sake of it.
No.
You do it because there's reason to it.
No, it's caused me untold problems because I've had major publishing deals. I've had various different record deals, and like been involved with some very, very, very rich, very powerful people in the industry, but all the time they're saying, you know, you need to give me this, you need to give me that. I'm saying, I write from the heart. I'm not a stock song. I don't deliver little packages for people, bespoke pack. You know, I write what I'm thinking, what I'm struggling with, and because most of my dialogue is to do with first coming from the inside out, as opposed to observations of the outside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more an internal reportage rather than an external reportage. So there's an awful lot of thought and feeling, and that's coming from the depths out. Yeah. So, and you know, I continually always have found myself. I'm continually trying to. I feel like because there's this internal dialogue and you're trying to communicate all the time, I'm forever trying to I'm physically trying to reach people. I'm physically, when we perform, I'm physically trying. I can't help it. I've spent my life trying to bridge that gap. You know, in the same way that in my work, when I work in support and I'm trying to help people who are going through difficulties, I'm trying to bridge that gap. I'm trying to open up a dialogue. I regard it all as part of one humongous thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
I think there's a continuity in it.
Did warn you, yeah. It's going to be a different kind of podcast.
Wow. So a nice little, just not so deep question.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
It's down the surface.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I don't know actually. Who knows?
Oh,
What was the first album you can remember buying with your own money?
What's the first album I bought with my own money? I know what mine was.
Go on, you do
it.
It
was
man, you do it.
The Wonder Stuff, Construction for the Modern Idiot.
Fantastic.
Yeah, great album. 1991, I think it was. Second album was Nevermind, Nirvana.
Did you then go back and buy Bleach, or?
Yes, on tape cassette.
Yes.
Do
you still have it?
I haven't got Bleach. Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, only about three cassettes, and Bleach on cassette is still one of them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I haven't used it. I haven't got a tape player. I can't use it, but it's cool to own it. He's still thinking, look, where we off to?
You've really got my mind racing. You see, I was very, very unconventional.
The first single I bought was Bryan Adams, Everything I Do for You.
Yeah, I don't.
Is that on tape as well?
I was on tape as well, yeah. I think from Woolworths. Yeah.
I think I fell in love with old rock and roll, to be honest. So I was listening to a lot of kind of Bill Haley and Gene Vincent and like Link Ray.
What's the first thing you remember buying? You must remember early memory of buying something.
I think was it Heart of Glass? Was it Blondie or something? It was one of the ones.
Good work.
I think.
Nice.
It's hard. That's a really hard question because there's a load of.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Cream, and I listened to music that was. I was walking around, you know, like playing stuff that nobody. There was nobody around me. That was the whole thing. I was a complete misfit. There was just nobody. I used to drive people nuts. They were like, oh, you know, and I was obsessed with My Bloody Valentine and the Jesus and Mary chain and all of that, and it drove my mother just go absolutely bananas. You know, sounds like a tape that's not playing properly, and why are you listening to that? You know, and I would literally lie on the floor, put the speakers on the floor, and lie between the speakers, and it was vinyl. The vinyl on, you know, and of course the legacy of my father, way back in the day, used to play with Van Morrison, so we were brought up in a lot of Van Morrison. So you know, I kind of fell in love with a lot of Astral Weeks, Moondance, and St Dominic's Preview, and that was kind of, and I fell in love with the Smiths. I was a huge devotee of. So it was much, I definitely wasn't listening to what was current at all.
Yeah.
I was just way off on my own after, Billy Know Me. It's like just like listening to what I felt, what was causing me to feel things inside.
Yeah, definitely.
That was what was driving me.
Yeah.
Not what was current or what people were listening to. So yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your most recent releases.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Lost Leader, Embrace the Fear.
Yeah.
I mean, the album before this, Hope As Our Lightning, was released 3 years ago now, probably nearly 3 years, and so
it took a long time to make.
It's a long time between the two, and this is the first time, ever for you, isn't it, that you've gone completely self-record, self-release, not tied to any publishers or record label for the first time in your life, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's
so,
a long, many years with Universal for an awful long time, and then after that, my very good friends from Snow Patrol, they signed me then to their publishing company, so I was published by them for a number of years.
So what made you want to?
I think it's. What we were talking about earlier about big setups and corporations and lots of people. It's a very interesting journey. The closer you get to the mainstream music industry, it's interesting, but you need to have your head screwed on, you need to have a thick skin, and you need to be thinking all the time. And having gone through many very challenging experiences, in fact, even in my previous band in the Gears, I wrote a song about the music industry and how it builds people up and it knocks them down. And we used to perform that every night. We would perform every single time we ever played, and halfway through, between the first verse and the first chorus, there'd be a little moment of silence, and the chorus then would come in, and there'd be a wall of noise that would come roaring. And I wrestled for a long time with the song, because I thought, how can I make it visceral? Because people need to feel this. They need to feel the pain, like how difficult it is. And I thought, well, why don't I? Why don't I fall down and pick myself back up? Why don't I do that in front of people? So I used to literally, I'd be standing bang and then I'd hit the ground. When we did festivals, sometimes St John Ambulance come running up because I thought I had a heart attack. 2 years at the Willow Festival, 2 years in a row, they came running up with their bags and all.
It's alright, it's just Irish.
It's just him doing what he always does. One of the major publishers that I was signed to, we were playing with Block Party. We were playing upstairs, we were playing downstairs in the Astoria with the Mooney Suzuki. They got signed to Columbia after Sammy, the lead singer, wrote the School of Rock theme that Jack Black, the School of Rock. So we were playing with them, and our publisher brought these A&R men from big labels, and we played that song, and I hit the deck, and afterwards in the dressing room he was like, "You can't do that, it's too dramatic, you're freaking people out," and I'm like, "Look, man, I told you when you signed me, I'm not a pop songwriter. If I write a pop song, it's an accident. So I will continue to fall on the floor, and we will continue to play that song because it's very important." So
that is why we've come around to self-releasing. I just think, what was the question? Because we want to fall on the floor again, and we want to do whatever we want.
It's about liberate. This whole. I mean, that's why we call the album Liberator.
Do you feel more free now?
There has never been a time like this. Never, ever. Like, this is not. And what is going on? Like what we're talking about, myself and Simon were talking earlier today. What is currently going on within Burning Codes is profound liberation. I mean, there are things happening right now.
We're here because we want to be, not because somebody's told us to be. We don't have to worry about what we're going to say. No. We can just come here, talk about the set of new songs, talk about the album, talk about the gigs we're doing.
Yes.
And not really give a shit about what we say because we are who we are.
Yeah.
And that's what this show's all about.
Yeah.
It's like people like you who just want to
Liberation.
do what the fuck
Liberate,
you
liberate, liberate.
Yeah.
Free
The album's
yourself.
called Liberate. The album title has
Yeah.
become to be Liberator, and we're being teed at over there.
like. He's telling you to stop after all that.
Yeah. Do that bit again. Do it again. Yeah. So yeah, the new album, Liberator. It was recorded in 6 days.
Wow.
There was some bits around that, some stuff at kind of at home with some of the guys in Burning Coast doing bits, but essentially the studio work was 6 days, sort of 2 days at a time over a few months period, wasn't it? Up with Andy Hawkins, who's a guy from Peterborough originally. In the 90s, he was in a punk pop band called Midget, a really cool band at the time. I bought their single at the time, so that was cool to work with him.
Yeah.
But he co-owns a studio up in Leeds with a couple of the guys from the Kaiser Chiefs. And you knew him well, didn't you, Andy? So we went up there and a couple of days at a time, and we've got an album from 6 days, and it's just, you can feel the end. It doesn't feel. You listen to it, it doesn't feel. It sounds rushed, does it? It's not as if it's rushed or not finished. It just sounds like it was recorded with a purpose.
Yeah, it's very, very much recorded with a purpose.
Yeah.
I've a long history with Andy, and we worked together on an album with my previous band, and one of the songs ended up in a Hollywood movie, and I didn't know. I didn't.
They forgot to tell you, didn't they?
They didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Oh, just
That
slipped their
major
minds.
publisher took it and put it on a Hollywood movie, and I had no idea. And I found out years later, so I couldn't even approach anybody because you're not. There's a 3-year rule and all this stuff, so you can't. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So but it ended up on a movie, and so it, many years since we worked with Andy, and it was like an incredible. He'd moved to Leeds, and I always remember when he used to do sound for Steve at the Met Lounge.
Oh yeah.
And after one of our gigs, he'd come up and he was like, "Whoa, man, that was it!" And he started just rhyming off all of these references, and I was like, "You get it, and you understand." And from that point on, that was why I chose to go and make that previous album with him. So it felt like with this record, I really, really had a strong conviction that he would understand. And he did, didn't he? He really, as soon as we went in, he was like, right, okay, and he understood. He's an absolute genius with sound, with guitars in particular. I am a great lover of a plank with strings. I can't, you take magnets and a piece of wood and strings. It's as soon as you move your hand and start connecting with that thing, there's something. Nobody plays a G chord the same. If you put your fingers in exactly the same place on the strings, they're not going to sound the same.
No.
That for me is incredibly exciting. If you have a pad sound, a stock sound off a synth, you can experiment and do all sorts of crazy filter sounds and stuff like that. But I'm talking about it, if you're pressing a key and that, it's essentially found sounds or programmed sounds. I know that you can mix sounds and stuff like that, but I just love the idea of this very visceral kind of plank with these magnets and these strings that vibrate, and you are controlling that vibration, and tiny changes in your movement and your feeling are causing really serious changes. What's going on in the amp and what's coming out the speakers, So for me, a guitar as a tool like that is a great tool to communicate feeling and liberation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why I think we love kind of bands like Sonic Youth that were ripping guitars apart and they were stringing them all wrong, and then they were putting ridiculous tunings. So before you'd even hit the thing, it's just completely, everything's totally reevaluated.
Yeah.
If you've taken something that looks like something that everybody plays, it doesn't sound anything like it. So things like that. I think essentially for me anyway, personally, music is feeling first. It's not music it's feeling. It comes from the inside, and then the feeling comes out, and that's the way I feel, that's the way I write, that's the way I live. And even when I'm regulating myself, I'm very, very aware.
In this album, it really is about feeling, isn't it? People that have seen the live shows recently have told us it's made them feel a certain way when they've been watching or listening. which is really, really kind of powerful thing, isn't it? And
It's incredibly. Yeah.
And if I go and see any bands that I don't know of, but I've not local bands, and I go and watch them, and they can be cool, but the ones that I go home thinking about are the ones that made me feel something. I couldn't understand a word they were saying, but I went away feeling something. And I think that's kind of what we're trying to get across with this. Not even trying to get that across. That's what this is.
It is.
That's what this album is. This set of songs is just to make you feel something, whatever the fuck it is. Just feel something.
Yeah.
I obviously haven't seen you guys yet, but
Sure.
You're gonna feel something.
Yeah. I'm definitely hyped.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I wasn't hyped before, but well, yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting experience each time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen little clips,
Sure,
live and stuff, but obviously you've got to be at a gig.
Yeah, and there's loads. If you go on
this.
YouTube, there's loads of Burning Codes stuff from over the years, and it's evolved in different ways. There's been choral things, there's been solo things, acoustic things, rock things.
That's right.
And so you'll look at that and go, well, what are they on about? But this because the Burning Cones has changed every few months. There's different people joining and leaving and coming in. Paul remains the constant, but things change. But what we've got at the minute, this current lineup with this Liberator album,
Extraordinary.
It's for the first time ever. It's completely established. Everyone gets each other. Everyone is working towards the same thing. And so if you're interested in seeing what Burning Codes are now and what you would get live now, then look at videos from now, essentially. Is because if you type in Burning Codes into Google or whatever, you'll get 6-7 years worth of stuff. But if you're interested in coming to see us now, look at the now, because what now is something very special and different to what's gone before.
Very different. I've spent like we were saying, I've spent years even playing guitar because I needed to do that. Now with Simon and Lloyd, it's there's such a synergy, such a power, and Karen and Gary. It's like I've been set free on a level I can't even begin to. In an awful long time since I felt the way.
It's sound a bit silly, but you watch it and it's like, oh, I see what he means now. He has been set free. Yeah. It's yeah. Come and see us.
Yeah.
What track would you like to play first on the podcast?
I think it'd be cool to play the first single release off the new album, which recorded up in Leeds with Andy Hawkins. Kind of a statement of intent for the album, isn't it? Track 1 on the album. Called Lost Leader.
I'm
let's talk about some upcoming gigs that you've got.
Okay.
Should have written these down, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
we got August the 16th in association with the wonderful local Distortion. That's the wonderful local Distortion in association with those guys. We're playing at Bedford Esquires with Saving Scarlet and Short Stories, exactly. And then there's a wow coming from the other room. We like short stories, do we?
Yeah, he's like their biggest fan. Every time I bring him in here, he's like, yes.
Come and see short stories.
Oh yeah, he'll be down.
Yeah.
Down as well.
Excellent. So yeah, and that. That's leading up to August the 31st, which is the day the album is released, the day that Liberate Later officially gets its release at the Broadway Theatre in Peterborough, with support on the night coming from Dan Donovan, who is incredibly cool, talented musician, artist from the sort of Peterborough area. Dan. Yeah. Incredible history as well, Dan has. The Fez, who we mentioned earlier, and the Brays as well, who are really cool, sort of Peterborough based.
Yeah.
Band. Tickets are on sale now. They're only £4, and the first 40 tickets sold get a free copy of the album as well. Not sure when that was decided or how that was agreed, but it's going through anyway.
That's a good
free
thing,
copy of the album, yeah.
First 40
So
people, that's good.
you'll get one if you play cards right as well, yeah. Buy your ticket, you'll get one. So no, that's August the 31st. It's going to be a brilliant night. Hopefully, massive night to launch the album, and kind of cool. We've got I don't know if you've heard of the music learning app Musician before, where people it's thousands and thousands of people using it. Kids, adults go on there. It's an app. You learn guitar, keyboard, bass by playing essentially a bouncy ball on the screen, like karaoke. Musician are the company that do that. They're interested in kind of working with us as a band, because Karen, our bass player, learned through Musician, so they recognise that.
I need to get on that then.
Yeah, they recognise that.
Fabulous.
That Burning
Fabulous.
Codes are doing something kind of cool and a bit different at the minute.
Yeah.
Musician are a kind of cool company doing something a bit different, and they want to sort of link up, so you might be able to bouncy ball some of our songs in the next few months. That's the intent.
Cool.
That's the intention. Yeah, to be the first band
Burning
they
Codes
use
app.
essentially. Because a lot of the songs they use are just kind of their compositions. This will be the first time they've ever tied in with a band. So yeah.
Wow. So eventually it could be like Guitar Hero.
Yes,
type stuff.
That kind of stuff is what we're talking about. Yeah, it's that kind of thing.
You would be the first band.
It's that kind of idea.
It's
like
kind of cool.
Smith, Guitar Hero, that kind of stuff.
So they're coming over from Finland. So they're not even a local. They're from Finland, and they've latched on to what we're doing, and they're coming over. Then I must say that as well. The gig on the 31st of August is tied in with the Free Kicks Foundation charity as well.
What Steve and Sam and the folks do.
Peterborough-based charity for kids who have been through pretty shitty times. Another way of putting it. Given some fantastic days out and trips out and holidays and stuff like that, and it's tied in with Peterborough United Football Club.
Amazing.
So that's the 31st of August gig. Beyond that, it's online, it's on Facebook, but there's Kings Lynn, there's a festival near Wiz Beach, there's Norwich, there's London Garage. There's all kinds of stuff coming up.
Lots and lots.
So no, cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, exciting times. I'm debating whether to ask you this. We'll do two more. Because I think we've got a lot of really good stuff. This is like one of the coolest podcasts I've ever done.
Oh, really? That's all right. I can never tell when people do our interviews whether they're bored to death.
It's been fascinating.
Or whether they think it's fascinating.
No, I found
That's
it.
really nice. Thank you, man.
I'm aware that we're a bit older than probably a lot of bands around at the minute around this way, and we do it. No,
that's nice.
Some older guys here the other week.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah. I mean, if your music's good, we let you in.
Yeah, there you go. So that's good. No. Right, at the same time,
we don't let in any.
We don't mind if you think that we're shit either. We just want to make you think something. That's all. That's the whole point of what we do. If we come in here and you think they're complete dickheads, they're talking complete shit, that's fine as well. You've thought something. We've triggered some kind of reaction. If it's positive, that's kind of cooler because you might buy a ticket.
That's kind of the reaction I'm getting.
Because you might buy a ticket. So anyway, cool.
Yeah, there we go.
So we'll go with personal highlights in your career with Burning Codes. What's like the number one highlight?
Wow, the number one highlight. You
Obviously,
know what?
you've probably
It's-
got some big ones coming up,
it's-
but up to
yeah.
this point,
The number one highlight for me, and there's probably other things I could pluck out where you go, that's really cool, more than what I'm going to say, but it was Saturday night, not even Saturday night, Friday night, there we go. Friday night, we did a gig in Stamford Friday night, and something about that, it was just...
is that Voodoo?
Yeah,
Lounge?
Voodoo Lounge gig, yeah, it wasn't packed out, it was nothing special about what it was, but something just clicked together with all of us on stage.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, I use the word liberating over and over, but it was just one of those nights where just everything just sounded, you could feel everything, and everything sounded
It's a great
right.
venue as well.
And yeah, really cool venue, and there
experience.
was some people there that we don't know who they were, but they were just really engaged with us. They were dancing, they were laughing, they were just
So engaged.
just completely they were feeling. That was the point. They were,
Yeah.
you could see it in their eyes. They were feeling something.
Feeling.
They were
Feeling.
really feeding off of what we were doing, and so yeah, that was the most significant moment for me. I've been working with Paul now in Burning Codes for about 4 years now, I think,
Yeah.
and we've done some really, really cool stuff at all different places around the country and festivals,
Yeah.
and recorded in different
But
things.
last Friday was it for you?
Had Johnny Snow Patrol drumming on the album, but this almost empty gig in Stamford at the Voodoo Lounge, just fucking brilliant, absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
What's your highlight?
Friday.
So
Yeah.
It was so good. I can't remember what day. Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say
We
the Thursday gig is probably going to be your next highlight then.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it'll probably be a
It's gonna
similar
be
vibe.
similar
Well,
kind of
I'll-
thing.
It'll be a similar vibe.
We've
amazing,
nailed it
man.
now,
That'll
so
be
it's going to
amazing.
replicate that.
That's the
Yeah.
case. It'd be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's bizarre. I mean, a week before we were down at Camden, which is incredibly famous. For, I grew up in the 90s when Britpop. I was obsessed with Blur and Pulp and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so venues like the Dublin Castle in Camden were just so famous then because of those bands, and I read about it in the NME. So to play it in that venue was one of those Burning Codes moments. Where it was like there's incredible opportunity here, but Stamford Voodoo Lounge Friday night in front of about 20 people. Something happened.
Oh, it did.
Something happened.
Oh, it did. It did. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, a bit of a bizarre one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a very
Interesting.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was not expecting that.
No.
But,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about that venue, so I'm kind
Incredibly
of
good.
not surprised.
Yeah. Have you not been?
No, I've almost been a few times, but
It's
you know,
it's definitely worth
I
going
like what
to.
they're doing
It's-
up there, and
it's-
they put on a lot of bands from the local area here up there, and yeah, they're doing some good things.
Yeah,
some
definitely.
really cool bands play there
Yeah.
a lot.
It's really,
if it was
really
closer, I'd always be there probably.
cool. Yeah, it's incredibly cool. It's like
Yeah.
it's a basement essentially.
Yeah.
Dark, dingy. It was a really hot day, a bit cold.
Esquire's kind of like that.
It's absolutely brilliant. The
think-
guy who was booking guy from Ireland, didn't he?
Lovely,
Michael, really lovely chap.
Lovely
Turned up, he's wearing a
guy.
Pixies t-shirt, so immediately start talking about the Pixies and
Yeah.
just really,
Kindred
really cool
spirit,
guy.
Really,
So
you know,
no, give us a shout if you go, and we'll come and we'll
yeah.
relive the moments of Friday night in the church,
Yeah.
of the Voodoo
That
Lounge.
was
Yeah,
brilliant. That was very, very
yeah,
good.
it's cool. Yeah.
Special.
So, last question.
Yep.
Would you like to start a rumour about Burning Codes?
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. I like the idea of other people coming to see us and then spreading rumours about us,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
saying that was fucking shit. Someone else going, that
Yeah,
was weird.
coming out,
What the
yeah,
hell
yeah,
was that? What was that
what?
noise? What was he doing?
Yeah.
The guy from Burning Codes, he's
Yeah.
got some kind of weird disease.
Well, yeah, why does he wave his arms around like
Yeah.
a crazy man and appear so void? What is that?
No, if we carry on with the live shows as they have been, there'll be enough rumours going around about Burning Codes without us having to consider
Yeah.
trying to make anything up about ourselves.
Safe to say.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of weird rumours going around. It's not that kind of show. No, there'll be a no. It's no. I don't want to make any rumours up.
Okay.
It's
Let
fine,
them
thank
I'll let you off.
naturally.
Yeah.
Normally,
flow.
I always want an answer, but I kind of get that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
think-
kind of makes sense. What
I
you
think
said.
Yeah,
that
that's
will.
right.
People would just make up their own
Naturally.
rumours.
Yeah, they're going to make up their own
Naturally develop.
assumptions, rumours, feelings, and thoughts.
We'll do this again in like a year's time, and you can tell me what's been fed
Yeah,
back to you.
yeah,
There we
yeah.
go. There we go, man.
Of all the rumours you've heard about
There we
yourselves.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That would be
man.
very
Yeah,
interesting.
that would be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Before we wrap up, do you want to play another song?
Yes, this is the second song to be released off the new album Liberator. Incredibly cool video for this one, which everything's been homemade, as we've said, to do with this album, this recording. The videos, that as well. This especially is completely homemade video. Lloyd plays guitar with Burning Codes. This video is his baby, and it's incredibly visual, powerful.
Amazing. Very visceral
video. I think it just grabs you by the balls and makes you watch it, basically. So grab your balls. This is Embrace the Fear.
Hey.
sadly come to the end.
That was cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's getting hot in here, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting there. God.
Never stops being dad. Never stops being dad.
It's not the radio. Don't rush me. God. We've got all night here.
We got an open mic to get to in Peterborough. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
We do an acoustic gig in. We never do acoustic stuff, but this guy Dan Knight, I don't know who he is, but he's asked us to support him at acoustic gig in Northampton on Friday night.
Yeah.
So we said so we're going to pop along to open mic tonight and just do a few covers. We're going to do Joy Division, Level Tear Us Apart, and Snake Patrol and some of our own stuff. But
nice.
thought we'd stop off at the open mic night and rock a few.
So where can everyone follow you guys on social media?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just search Burning Codes and it'll always be the first thing you come up. Stick it in Google, and like I said earlier, you'll get masses and masses and years worth of stuff to do with Burning Codes, which is cool if you want to look at that. But if you're interested in the here and now and the songs and the releases we're doing, look at the recent stuff only. The website www.burningcodes.co.uk as well. But just stick Burning Codes into Google and you can't miss us.
Yeah, plenty there.
Yeah.
And you can follow Local Distortion on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We do some fun stuff on there sometimes. Obviously, subscribe to this YouTube channel, which you're listening to this on. Do some weird stuff on here as well, not just podcasts. Acoustic sessions, a couple of original shows that can kind of get out of control, but that's what we're all about. We got the Mixcloud podcast, which you guys have been featured on a few times.
Thank you for
been
that.
track of the week on
there.
there.
Yes, we have.
Amazing.
Thank
you.
Spotify playlist, which you'll be on there now because you've been a guest and you've been track of the week as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's royalty around here, but
very kind.
We do have t-shirts as well. I need to order some more t-shirts actually, but we will have more t-shirts soon.
I will buy a t-shirt as well.
It all helps support what we do because we do all this for free.
Amazing.
Yeah.
There's no hidden cost.
No,
we're not a corporation just yet.
No, it's cool. It works both ways. We'll promote you guys whenever we can.
I'll be in a suit and my office will be in London next time you come. Local Distortion HQ.
Where's Dan? He's up there.
He's sold out on the top floor.
Just book an appointment.
Yeah.
See
you in 3 years.
Waiting list there for the.
Yeah.
A wicked man.
All right, guys. Thank you very
so
much.
Thank you.
Wicked man. Yeah.